Hello, welcome. I hope you're doing really well today. I've been in my Hobonichi cousin for a month now, and so I thought it's a perfect time to do a little update to show you what's going on inside of my book and how am I doing in it. I'm only going to flip through my daily pages. If you're curious how I use my monthlies and weeklies, you can find that on my setup video. Not much has changed since then, but yeah, it's gonna be the May dailies only. And so let's start with the cover page. Every month in Hobonichi Cousin has a blank cover page, and I decided to use these for my monthly mood boards. I like to create a mood board for the month with relevant stuff or theme. So the month of May was my wedding month, so I obviously had to create a wedding themed mood board, and in it you can see little things from my wedding. Like this was my hair inspiration, this is the stack of rings I was going for, as you can see, Amalfi Coast because that's where our wedding happened, my bouquet inspiration, peonies of course, and also a classy suit for Vince. On the first day of May I released my Patreon page, which is a big achievement and milestone for me. I am very excited for our little community there, so yeah, I definitely wanted to record that. On this day we went on a little road trip to a little town nearby. There is this old palace there. It is under construction, so we were not able to go inside, but the surrounding area was very beautiful. Like there was a big park. So yeah, we spent a very nice afternoon there. This was supposed to be my wedding dinner dress. We had our wedding dinner at a fancy Michelin restaurant, but I ended up switching my outfit to a different one because this one was a bit too fancy. They sent us a warning to not overdress. The dress code was smart casual, so yeah, this dress required heels, and with heels it looked a bit too formal. So I ended up picking a different outfit. This was the day my Hobonichi cousin arrived. The previous pages were backfilled, but from here it was all real time. And I saved a little bit of packaging. I glued it to this page because I didn't have much going on that day. This is a note from my skincare specialist. She wrote the instructions for a hydrating face mask that I had to use on the evening before the wedding so that my face would look as good as it can on the wedding day. Lots of writing. I had a cozy late night reading session. I remember I was reading Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young, and it was a perfect book for that late night reading session because it's like magical realism, very mysterious one. On this day I had my wedding dress fitting. I was actually renting my dress, but they still tailored it so that it would fit me perfectly, and that was very nice because on the wedding day I definitely felt like a princess. And this is the text from my friend. They decided to secretly organize a farewell / bachelorette party for me before I left to Italy, and that was a very pleasant surprise. Like, I'm not a big party person, especially not bachelorette party person, and they know that, so they organized this lovely dinner at a restaurant. Very simple, but it was so heartwarming and I felt so grateful to have them. Then here I decided to stick in a little book review page. I don't really need it here because I have a separate book journal, but I thought that this could work for memory keeping purposes. It kind of gives additional context to the day, like looking at this and remembering, oh, I was reading this book back then. I created this little page on Canva, and it only has like the basic information, the format of the book, my thoughts. I only write like a sentence or two. And also my book badges, obviously. So for this book, I gave Greta Holmes, Charmed by Words, and There's Something in the Woods, which is actually a new book badge I created specifically for this book. I created a digital download file for my book badges if you're curious, and you can find them on my Patreon. I will leave the link in the description box down below. Then, yeah, I was in a very philosophical mood here. I had lots of thoughts to journal about. Exactly 1 week to our wedding, so it was Friday the 16th, and our wedding was on next Friday. So I wanted to record this. And on Saturday, I had a very busy day. First of all, I had my wedding manicure, then the bachelorette party that I mentioned. This picture is from that evening. So my friend created this fun quiz, how well do you know the bride, on her iPad, and we were doing it together. It was very fun. And finally, me and Vince watched a Eurovision Song Contest final. It's our tradition. Then here I created a list for wedding specific items. I have many packing lists with the stuff you always take on the trips, but wedding items like wedding bands and dress and all that is not something you always take on a trip. So I wanted to create a separate list to make sure that I will not forget anything, because that would be very sad, like not having our wedding bands on our wedding day. So yeah, that was very useful. And here our Italy wedding trip started. This is a little paper you get with the bubble gum called Love Is. I really liked those when I was a kid, so when I saw one in the oil station shop, I just had to grab it. I obviously had to glue it on the page. And this is a little sweet welcome note the Airbnb owner left for us. Then this was our first full day in Amalfi Coast. And we still had several days until the wedding, so we decided to do all kinds of exploring and touristy stuff. First, we checked out the Ravenna, a little town where we were staying, and after that we still had a lot of time, so we decided to hike down to another little town. So Ravenna is on top of the mountain, and we're going all the way down to Minori, which was by the sea. And this is a bus ticket because we definitely didn't want to climb all the way back up to Ravenna. Limoncello failure. Yeah, you can probably tell that I don't really drink alcohol, because when I saw the name limoncello on the menu at the restaurant, I thought that it's some sort of a lemonade, and I ordered it for me and Vince. And yeah, it turned out it's a lemon vodka cocktail. So it was an interesting lunch. This is a view from Ravenna Terrace, and here I wanted to record our breakfast. We always had our breakfast on the balcony with the sea view, and that was so nice that I had to stick a picture of it here. And this was our big day, the wedding day. I decided to just glue in some sneak peek pictures our photographer sent to us. We are still waiting for the full photo package, but I think these look very pretty, and they definitely show how magical and romantic the day was for us. Then the next day we had to move from Amalfi Coast to Naples. It was not our preference to move like immediately the next morning, but we had to because of the Airbnb availability. And I must admit, it was a bit of a shocking experience for me. After Amalfi Coast, which was basically paradise on earth, Naples was very different. My first impression was that it's very busy, loud, dirty, smelly. I just felt so overwhelmed, and not in a good way. Luckily, the next day we discovered this neighborhood not too far from where we were staying, and it was just lovely. It had lots of trees and little cafe shops and a big park, and the buildings were really pretty there. So it definitely made me feel a bit better about Naples. I also got a charm for my Pandora bracelet. I use my Pandora bracelet kind of like a recorder for big life events and achievements, and our wedding was definitely one of those. So I got a wedding specific charm for it. And then the next day we decided it is time to do some proper touristy stuff. So first of all, we went to Archaeological Museum, which was okay, like nothing special really. And then we really wanted to check out the Naples Underground. But honestly, it was a bit underwhelming for me. It was just like a huge basement with some very narrow corridors. Nothing much to see there, so yeah, I don't know. I was kind of hoping for more. Then the next day we wanted to have it a bit more chill and relaxed, so we didn't have much going on, and I decided to glue in the map of Pompeii. I saved a lot of ephemera from this trip, and it could not all be fitted into a corresponding page, so it was kind of nice having a blank page to use for this. And yeah, the next day we went to see Pompeii first, and then in the afternoon we also went to see Mount Vesuvius. and they were both very impressive. They are both definitely worth seeing if you're visiting south of Italy. Here we have another one of those little book review pages. This one is for the new Ali Hazelwood novel, Problematic Summer Romance, and it was just perfect for me. I felt like she wrote it specifically for me because the story setup is a destination wedding in South Italy, and I was on my wedding trip in South Italy, so yeah, it was just a perfect match. It was a great companion on suffocating bus to Mount Vesuvius and on crowded train rides. Like, it was very good. And I gave it 3 badges, annoying others with my giggling because it was very funny. Can they finally get together because I love the slow burn, and just one more chapter because for me it was a page turner. So yeah, if you're looking for a light summer rom-com book, I definitely recommend checking this one out. Then this was our final full day in Italy. It was also Vince's birthday, so we decided to take a boat to Capri Island. And I'm so glad that we did because Capri Island is just gorgeous. And I'm also glad that we went to Anacapri, which is a small town not too far from Capri. And we took the cable chairlift to go up on the mountain to see the panorama. And it was honestly the best view of the whole trip. Like, even with the Amalfi Coast, I think I haven't seen anything so impressive on the whole trip as the view from that mountain in the Anacapri. So yeah, it was a great ending to our trip. And the next day we had our flight home, which was also the last day of May. So yeah, that is my May dailies flip through. And now that I've been in my Hobonichi Cousin for a month, I can say that I really enjoy it. I have never journaled on a trip before, but some of these pages, like the early pages, I made these on my trip, and it was a great way to ground myself in overwhelming situations. And I'm also very happy because I was able to capture a lot of things that I would not remember if I made the pages now after we came back home. And yeah, so far it is not too overwhelming to fill the daily pages. As you saw, like if I don't have anything going on, I just stick in some ephemera or something like that. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, definitely give it a big thumbs up. That would be a huge help to my channel. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!